All right. So here we're going to talk about the structure, the framework of a sales conversation. I have some things that I wrote down here, so I'm going to be checking this and I'm going to be showing it to you. This is not a script. A sales conversation is not a script. You can't script this. You can use it as a framework, as a way to kind of like guide the conversation to see if it's a fit for them to work with you. But you can't really script a sales conversation. And also, a sales conversation, it is not designed to make money, to close the sale, or to manipulate. It is designed to serve and help people make a clear decision in their mind if they're ready to make a change in their lives. People that are confused do not buy. A confused person does not buy. And you're creating clarity in their mind to see if they really want to move forward or not. And both are fine. So once you have this knowing that it's just about getting clear, you drop all of the, I need this client, I want to get him as a client or something like that. No, your job here is just to make it clear for them if they're a yes or a no. Because if they really want it, great, you have a client that's really committed. If they don't want it, great, you don't waste any more of your time. So there are a couple of different types of conversations. This is specifically a sales conversation, and not every conversation that you're going to have is a sales conversation. You might have a normal open-ended relationship building conversation with somebody in which you're generally curious about that person and curious about their life and curious if there's any way that you can help them. And if you find there's a way you can help them, you can transition into a sales conversation. Just to be clear that not every conversation has to be a sales conversation. So the first question is, what do you want? And you can really be more specific depending on if you know the person. If you have a closer relationship with them, you can be more specific on that question. Like, what do you want with your business? Where do you want to take this? If you know more about the business, you can be more specific in that question. And this is a question where you want to dig. You want to really go deeper and see what is this person's vision for the future. What does that person want and how is that going to affect, and you can ask us like, how is this going to change your experience of life? How is this going to be any different than what you have now? Why is this so important to you? You really want to dig deeper, and your job as a salesperson is to raise your prospect's ambition. And you raise your prospect's ambition by getting really, really deep and understanding what they really want and why they want it. Okay, I want $1 million. Okay, why? What's that? How is that going to change your life? What are you going to have when you have $1 million that you don't have right now? So this is go deep. Second, we're going to go to the second question now. It's, why don't you already have that? What's blocking you? What's gotten in the way? And this is not a digging question. You don't want to really go deep. Here, you're listening to see if their answer reflects that they are capable of self-reflection and of personal responsibility. If they go into victim mode and blame everybody else but themselves, that's a red flag. That's a red flag because it shows that they're not willing to accept that they are 100% responsible for why they don't have it. And if they are in this victimhood, you may not be able to help them. If you feel like, yes, they are capable of self-reflection and you're enthusiastic about it, you can move to the next question. And if not, this is a perfect place to end this conversation, where you can wish them well, you can send them a resource, and you can just end it and stop wasting both of your time. The third question is, what's going to happen if you don't resolve whatever he mentioned on the second question? What's going to happen if he doesn't change it? And we have something that is called a default future. If we take our actions exactly the way that we're taking now, we have a predestined future. And his ambition is not this predestined future, right? His ambition goes higher. If he doesn't change anything, he's going to go into this default future. And you want to help them see, if they don't change anything about themselves, if they don't resolve what they said is blocking them, how is that going to affect their life? And you can really project this out. You can project this 2, 5, 10, 50 years out. This is to help them see that if they don't change anything, they're not going to create the result. And it should have kind of the same emotional charge, the same emotional signature as the first question. It should feel really personal and really emotional to them. Then you move to the next question. And you should feel that emotion. You move to the next question. And you ask, how serious are you about changing that? And you don't have to get very involved in this. If they say, nah, not really serious, then you can end the conversation there. If they say, no, I need this, like I'm 100% committed, fantastic. If they give an answer where they're like, yeah, I'm kind of serious, and it doesn't really land as true for you, you can push back. You can say, I'm not feeling this here. I mean, what's going on here? Are you really in or not? I'm not feeling it. You can push back against it. And if they mention that they're really serious, then you go to the next question. And this is the second phase of the framework. You will talk more. A sales conversation has a lot of questions, but in this phase, you're going to talk a little bit more. You're going to ask different kinds of questions, and you're also going to check in frequently with your prospect, with the person that's in front of you, to see that you're not drowning them in information. Because now you're going into a little bit more into logistics. So if they say they're really serious, you go to the next question, the fifth question. And it's, are you willing to do the uncomfortable work that I will require you to do? You want to see if they're really going to do the work. Because if they're not, you can't really help them. If they're willing, you can go to the next question, the sixth question. You can say, I have a program for you. I have a product for you. I have an offer for you. I have a service for you. I have an idea for you. Would you like to hear about that? And set a really high standard for how enthusiastic their answer is. If it's just like, yeah, sure, take it off the table because they don't really want it. If they're like, yes, please tell me, I want this, then you can tell them the program. And you want to feel them coming to you, not you going to them. You have something so valuable that can change their lives. It's not your job to persuade them into wanting this. You know this is amazing. They need to really want it. And stand firm and grounded when you tell your program, and just tell it in short, broad strokes. You don't have to go really deep into all of it. Just keep it short. This is the program, this is the idea, and then you go to the next question, the seventh question, which is, do you think this would help you? Would this program help you solve your problem? If you get a no, the prospect says, I don't know, great. Troubleshoot that. Go deeper. Learn more from it. Learn more because maybe you can make adjustments. Maybe the client says, no, I think this part here is not what I need. Then you can really go deeper and say, okay, let's try to find a creative way which would really help you. And once you tell them program, and they got what the program is, then you're always checking in with them. Are you understanding this? Is this How does this land for you? How does this feel for you? You're always checking in. If they like the program and they say, that's fantastic, that will totally resolve my problems, you go to the next question, which is the 8th question, where you ask, do you have any other questions or concerns before we talk about money? You're asking this because you want to know if they're 100% a fit before you talk about money. You want to know if the program and everything that you laid out is, if they're 100% in, now it's just a matter about talking about money. And if they say, nope, we can talk about that, and then you tell your price, you just stay in silence, and whatever they say, you just say, cool, how much do you want to put down today? And expect to hear full price. Expect to really hear that they say, I'm going to pay it all in full, because they may have objections, but I don't want to enter them and express them before they do, energetically or otherwise. They may have some objections, and then you can handle those in a later part of the conversation. And I'm gonna do this also here. If they go into, wow, like that's a lot of money, agree with them. That's a genuine concern of them. That's a genuine thought that they have. And maybe they're not in a resourceful state right now where they can see ways to find the money. Because know this in your heart. This is an absolute truth. If a person wants and really wants your product, the money is there. The money is always there. Done. I mean, no more discussion. It's a fact. They may not have it right now available for them because they are not thinking resourcefully on how to do that. And you can say to them the price, and you can say, we can also talk about, if you don't have the money right now, we can also talk about ways on you to create that. I can help you with that also. And then you can give them ideas. So like, okay, you can, where are investments you can pull from? You can ask for friends or family. You can take a loan from the bank. You can get a credit. You can there's so many ways. Money is so abundant. It's not an issue. It might be really uncomfortable because maybe they have never invested in that way, but knowing yourself that them investing in this is the best thing that they can have for themselves. Because once somebody really invests, they're totally committed. Nothing commits people more than the exchange of money. And it's super helpful because then they start thinking at a different level and they start playing at a different level in their business or whatever you're helping them with, and they're going to get the return. Cool. That's basically it. Keep in mind, it's not a script, it's a framework, and I'm going to read that to you again. A sales conversation is not designed to make money, close a sale, or manipulate. It is designed to serve and help people make a clear decision about if they want to make a change in their lives. That's all a sales conversation is.